It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi everyone, I'm Gary Shorman, and this is the Forum on Eagle Community Television. Good to have you along. We have a special guest today, and really a neat announcement we'll be talking about. Vincent Bowhay is our guest, and he's the Assistant Director of the Memorial Union for Student Events and Activities. And Vincent, good to have you on our program again.
Thank you so much for having me. We really appreciate always being invited to this.
You know what, Vincent? You have come up with not only a great encore series, because you kind of tackle those sort of things. You have a great announcement for it we'll be talking about. We'll come right back to that first. But then because of the things you're doing with the encore and these special programs, you've won a couple of awards. So just a lot of things to talk about on today's show.
Yeah, well, thanks again for recognizing me. I appreciate everything you do.
First off, though, some exciting news, because the Sebelius Lecture Series, relatively new at Fort Hays State University. We had a great first guest, and now you have an announcement coming up in April 16th. On April 16th, we have a new guest. Tell us who it is and what's it about.
Yeah, on April 16th, we will have former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, who will be sharing his vision of America with provocative politics, and a discussion about his time not only running for president, but also leading the country and the Compact for America that he had when he was Speaker of the House in the 90s. So a unique perspective of where America could be and where it needs to go from his stance.
You know, one of the nice things about this is when you talk about putting together something to follow up with the first program, what really came out of more of the Obama side or the Democratic side of this, and now it's the Republican side. I've heard Newt speak, and he is, you know, he doesn't hold anything back, and it's going to be a great program, and will fit right in with, you know, his thoughts on where the country should be. But frankly, it's a lot of the things that many of us believe.
Well, I find it so interesting. This is our fourth lecture. We did just have former Press Secretary Jay Carney to President Obama on campus. But you gotta remember, Newt was also advocating for $2.50 gallon per gallon of gas. And where are we at right now? We're at like $2.15.
He finally got it done, and he's not even there.
He's not even there, and he got it done. So I think that we're gonna see a lot of interesting perspectives from his side, from traveling around America. He's the author of 23 books. I mean, he's spent a lot of time in the crossroads of America, but also thinking about America and policies that we have.
And those of us that watch politics from the outside, from a news standpoint, running for president, you know, it's already the process for this year. That is no small feat, just gearing up, just the physical aspect of being as many places as you need to be to run for president, but the emotional part of being involved, and he wasn't successful in his run, but certainly will be right in the time frame of a new presidential election, and so he'll have some interesting insight.
Well, I agree. By the time he gets here, we're probably going to have a couple more people that are announcing or forming those committees to run for president. And it's right on the cusp of major issues that we're looking at. ISIS. These are all going to be things that we're going to be talking about that evening. So I think it's going to be a really unique opportunity to get a perspective from someone who has been in some of those situations, talk to those key players that make decisions in America.
How excited were you when you got him to sign to come to Hays?
Really excited. We've had just phenomenal response. This is only our second year with the Sebelius Lecture Series. We've had a debate between presidential candidates before. We've had press secretary. We had Karl Rove. And I think Newt Gingrich just adds to that legacy of people that we're able to bring to discuss politics and really the values of Western Kansas right on our doorstep at Fort Hays State.
Someone's watching right now and say, boy, I want to be a part of this. I know there's limited space, so you want to get in on this. Where do they go? How do they find out something right now?
Yeah, they can get their tickets at fhsu.edu/Sebelius, which is SEBELIUS, or call the Student Service Center at 785-628-5306 and get those tickets right now.
My guess is you should get them right away to reserve a good seat and frankly be able to get in, because I think it's going to be a great program. Vincent, you've also been doing the Encore series and a couple of great shows recently. Mamma Mia, I know, just heard wonderful reviews on that. And in fact, we were talking with Brandon, he knew almost every song in that show.
You know, I think I saw at least 100 people singing along and clapping. They had probably a 15 to 20 minute standing ovation at the end. So we've had back-to-back success with Mamma Mia and The Great Gatsby, but overall you'll see that Encore's been a very competitive program and has grown so much over the past 2 years that we're really lucky to have it in Hays and at Fort Hays State University.
Now, what do you have? You direct the programs. Do you actually go out and start looking in advance for those programs to find something you think would be exciting for people in our community?
We start planning.
How far in advance?
A year in advance. So right now we have already completely wrapped up the planning for the 2015-2016 season. we began in August when we were launching this season to plan for the next. So we spent a lot of time getting down from hundreds of shows we look at to only 8 or 9 is a very competitive process, and we spent a lot of time going through so many shows you wouldn't believe.
You have a couple of shows that are going to be coming up here at the end of the year, and one of them is March 31st, and it's the Intergalactic Nemesis, a live-action graphic novel. And I looked at you and go, what exactly is that? And tell us what it is.
Yeah, the Intergalactic Nemesis is going to be an event like you won't have anywhere else. So if you've been a fan of Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade,
I have,
or Star Wars, this is going to be right up your alley. What they do is they perform a live radio show on stage with all the sound effects like the saw bending and all the whistles, and they perform a script beneath a screen. And on the screen above, they're going to project 1,500 hand-drawn images like a comic book. So they're literally reading out loud the sound effects and the vocals to a comic book.
That is going to be amazing.
It's so cool.
And I assume you've seen parts of this?
I have. This is a major touring company that's done this, and I was lucky enough to catch it last year. And 15 minutes into it, I knew we had to bring it this year, so we worked really hard to bring it.
You know, that's one of the things about Encore is you have a wide group from the Mamma Mia type of things to this that is just unusual. But when you get there, you know, the Chinese acrobats were here a few years ago, and it was just amazing watching. In fact, my chest was pounding when they were up on a couple of those ladder things. So you get to see things that you typically wouldn't see.
Yeah, I think you're going to be impressed with the shows we have left this year. I think you're going to be even more impressed with the shows we're bringing next year.
Now, the last one of the year is on April 14th, and that's Presidio Brass, Sounds of Cinema. What's that about?
Again, if you like Star Wars and Indiana Jones, I got a show right up your alley. Presidio Brass Sounds of the Cinema is going to take those famous movie soundtracks that we all love, that music that's recognizable behind the scenes at movies that tell that story. They're going to perform that music with brass instruments. They're going to get some audience interaction. They're going to pull some people up on stage. And what's also great is our program provides opportunities for students to learn more about instruments, and we provide an outreach program before that event for about 1,000 middle school students who will get an opportunity to see an arts experience on us for free because the community supports the Encore series.
How good are these guys?
They're phenomenal. They're going to be so funny. They're funny, they're talented, they're worldwide, they perform everywhere. You're going to really enjoy it. It's a special treat.
All right, the Intergalactic Nemesis, March 31st, and then April 14th, Presidio Brass, the Sounds of Cinema. Great things coming up there. We're going to take a break. Vincent, you were telling us earlier, and you're not big on this, but we want to talk about it because we want to talk. You won a couple of awards that have come back just recently, and it all has to do with some of the great programming that you're being a part of bringing to Fort Hays State. Back with more. Vincent Bowhay is our guest here on the Forum on Eagle Community Television.
Hays Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hays Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hays Med, helping people be healthy.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to the second half of our forum here on Eagle Community Television. The forum is brought to you all by the great people out at Hays Med. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, suggestions for great programs like this one, send them to me. Gary.Shorman@eaglecom.net is my email. You can also chase us down on the Facebook account, and that's under ECTV Forum. Type that into the search bar in your Facebook account, and you'll find us there. You can leave us your comments. Vincent Bowhay is our guest, and he is the Assistant Programs Director and Student Activities, Special Events, and all-around good guy bringing in terrific programs, and now award winner. Because you've won two. On February 14th, there was a national event, and you won the Patsy Morley Outstanding Programmer Award, and then you also won a Diversity Programming Award at the same conference. You must have been a rock star there.
I can't tell you how proud I was to represent Fort Hays State and the hard work that not only I put in, but also our students and my office is just phenomenal at scheduling so many
I know
things.
you don't do this all by yourself. Because
No,
there's
not
a
at
big
all.
group to make that happen. Tell us first about the Patsy Morley Award. What does that stand for, and what does that mean?
The National Association of Campus Activities chooses one programmer, so an event host each year, to recognize for outstanding contributions to their campus and community. So I was nominated. I didn't know that I was nominated, but for planning the Encore Series, planning events for students, and then creating the Sebelius Lecture Series, they chose me, and they recognized me with that one award for this year.
Is that like an Oscar where you get to go up and be on stage and do that?
No speeches. I was so mad. I wanted to thank so many people, but no, yeah, it was
No
really
speeches
great.
and no music to
No
get you off the
speeches.
stage or anything like that. And what about the Diversity Award, the Diversity of Programming Award? What goes into winning that award?
Yeah, this was a really competitive program where I actually did nominate this program for. So our program was called the World Ready Curriculum, and what we're doing is taking events that are already taking place on campus, tying those into learning that's taking place in the classroom. So as students are attending comedians or they're attending lectures on campus, they're getting credit and completing things that are in the classroom as well. And once they complete this huge track of learning, they get an honor cord for graduation and they get recognized with certificates. So really what we're doing is creating a credential that helps employers say, I understand diversity and this is how I can interpret that for your company.
And so when you win these are from universities all across the country?
Yep. There were over 2,000 people at this conference and hundreds and hundreds of universities that were participating. So we were really blessed not only to get one award, but two.
You know, so many times we hear about Fort Hays State and the awards that the university gets, professors get, people who work with the university and are associated with, and it really does show what a great university we have right here in Kansas, Northwest Kansas, representing us with these. Because when you do that, you were to the whole conference to do what?
Look at events and plan events for next year. That was our #1 goal for this conference. The awards were a major bonus, and we were very lucky. I think Fort Hays State is an amazing institution. I'm proud to work there.
Let's talk about the things coming up here as we wrap things up.
Yep.
First off, coming up April 16th.
We have the
Newt?
lecture series, Sebelius Lecture Series. We'll be presenting Newt Gingrich at 7:30 p.m. in Beach Schmidt.
And then we're going to have two more encore series that wrap up the year. Those are?
March 31st, we have the Intergalactic Nemesis, which is at 7:30 in Beach Schmidt as well. And then April 14th, we have Presidio Brass, Sounds of the Cinema, and that's at 7:30 in Beach Schmidt, a third time.
There are tickets available for both of those?
Tickets are available for all three of these events, so
Including the encore, the two encore, and the Sebelius one?
they should be available, and as long as tickets are on sale, you can see them online at Encore's website or the Sebelius website, and any updates will be announced through that.
And you know what, next year, you talked about the great programs that are coming up. It's probably time to start thinking about getting signed up again for next year when the notice comes out for that, because I know season tickets have been, are you at a record this year for season tickets?
You know, we have so many, I don't want to say it's a record year, but it's got to be close because it's been a great year. We've been very supported by our community in Hays.
Tell us a little bit about your team, because it's not done just by you. Tell us how that all works and the people that go into these great programs.
Yeah, so we have a special events committee, which I'm fortunate enough to serve as chair, and that has over 30 people on it that include faculty, staff, students, and community members. So we really do go through conferences. We look at events, we look at what some of our competitors are doing, and we say, is this appropriate for our community? And then we get it down from hundreds of acts down to 8 or 9 each year. It's a lot of times. We meet, I would say, at least monthly, if not bi-weekly, and we look at what's good for our budget, but what's also challenging for our community. We also want to make sure that people are seeing themselves on stage. So are we being diverse? Are we encouraging females, African Americans, some of our international programs? And I think that you see that more and more. You're going to see next year, you're going to really be challenged with different cultures and different perspectives. This year we had someone from Scotland who did the soundtrack to Brave. But next year, we're going to have just as many diversity opportunities. And I think that's what it's more about, is allowing students and people in our community to see themselves on stage and to experience the arts in a new way.
You know, a few weeks ago, we had the Chamber of Commerce, our annual conference over at the Student Union. And the Student Union, I'm not sure it's ever looked better than what it does right now.
Well, you know, Tammy Wellbrock, what an amazing video, too. You just got to love someone that can wake up and put a video on. And the Union is just a great place to work. It's vibrant. We have so many opportunities for our community and Starbucks. So we hope that people will visit more and more by our activities and the services we provide.
Vincent, if somebody wants to see you, stop by and say hi. Where are you located?
The Center for Student Involvement is downstairs in the lower level of the Memorial Union in room 014.
Vincent Bowhay is the Assistant Director of Special Events Student Activities at the Memorial Union at Fort Hays State University. Again, it's nice to have you with us. You're always fun to be in, and some great programs. Look forward to being at those as well.
Thank you for having me. We appreciate the invite.
Thanks for watching the Forum here on Eagle Community Television. I'm Gary Shorman. The Forum is brought to you by Hays Med and by Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Hays Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hays Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hays Med, helping people be healthy.